Turn you on. All right, hello Litchfield. Welcome to 90.9, the Pythagoras. First quiz review video for your pleasure. Today we are brought to you by Starbucks, Caldy's Coffee, Tazo, Zen Tea, the Quality Inn in Litchfield, high quality, free Wi-Fi, and a solid breakfast. Also, R&R Glass here in town for all of your glass needs. Alright, this video is for Honors Algebra Dose. Evaluate each expression, number 1 and 2. This is, again, exactly like your quiz tomorrow. Exactly like your quiz tomorrow. We're just going to move this around a little bit. There is no editing. There's no editing positions. We're working on a tight budget here. Number 1, evaluate each expression. So, it's all about the order of operations here. Take care of the parentheses. We have 58 minus 17 and 3. You got to work with that first. That's going to give you 20. And this is just a stronger parentheses there. That bracket still means we have a parenthesis. We're then going to divide it by 5, and then we got plus 3 to the 4th. 58 minus 20 gives us 38. And we have divided by 5 plus 3 to the 4th. Again, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Tells us that we need to do this division first. 38 divided by 5. Calculator time brought to you by TI-84 plus Silver Edition, or pink for the ladies. 7.6 plus, we can do 3 to the 4th, and we get 81. We got a studio audience here for the calculating. 7.6 plus 81 gives us 88.6. 88.6 would be our answer there. Looking at number 2, number 2 looks much more complicated. What should we handle first? We should probably we could really work with both of these sets of parentheses first if we wanted to. So we have 3/4. 2 to the 3rd is 8 minus 5. I'll square it later. Plus 5, right for me. 5 minus 1 is 4. I'll square that later, divided by 8. Alright, keep working within the parentheses here. I have 3/4. Make a 3. I have 3/4 of 3 squared plus 5 times. Now I can really handle the exponent here. That's 16 all over 8. Again, step by step. 3/4. Now I got that 3 squared. That is 9. Plus, I would do multiplication really before our division. And even if you did 5 divided by 8 times 16, you're still going to get the same answer. So it's going to be 80 over 8. You can't have a decimal. That's fine. That's technically 27 over 4. But if you said 6.75, that ain't wrong. 80 divided by 8 gives you 10. Final answer of 16.75 for that. So I would expect tomorrow on your quiz to also see 2 of these. All right, folks, on number 5, again, very similar to the other two. We got 3x plus 2y, so we're definitely going to want to simplify this. And is x negative 3 or negative 4.5 or negative 4? What is x? X is 6. 3 times 6 plus 2 times y is negative 4. Y is negative 4. All right, I'm going to put that in a bracket. Put that in the bracket. Make it stronger. This segment brought to you by, what's the local gym in town? Is there a gym in town? Fit to Go. This one's brought to you by Fit to Go. Running is great, but if you want if you want to not look like Mr. Yak, go to Fit to Go. Mr. Yak should probably go to Fit to Go. All right, X is again 6. Y is negative 4. Oh, and we should put something in for W. W is 2.5. Oh, not even close. Negative 3.5. Negative, that is a negative 3.5. We could actually bring up another sponsor. The sponsor is brought to you by White Out. Erase all of life's mistakes, except for that first boyfriend. Negative 3.5. All right, so 3 times 6 is 18. Minus 8, you're going to square that, plus, you're actually going to, up top here, you're going to get a negative, and it's going to be a negative 72 all over negative 7. So a negative over negative will be a positive. 18 minus 8 is going to give you 10, which you will square. Technically, we should have that in a parenthesis, but you know anytime you square a number, it's always positive. This is still going to be a plus. You can round it to the nearest tenth if you want. It should be 10.3. All right. Then you're going to have 100 plus 10.3 gives you 110.3. That is a 110.3 for that one. All right. And again, we are almost done here on this page. Number 6 says 4w minus 3, x is 6, y is negative 4. All of that divided by 2 times 6 times negative 4. Minus 8 over y. All right, 4 times a negative 3.5 up top. Let's work with that. Negative 14. A negative times a negative is going to give you a positive in that numerator. I think it is 72. All over, you should have a negative 48, it looks like. Now, you are subtracting. 8 divided by a negative 4 is a negative 2. So if you subtract a negative 2, you're really adding 2. Up top, we're going to have 58 divided by a negative 48. That's going to be a negative 1 point something, like negative 1.2. I think it's like negative 1.2. Somebody help me. I'm flailing on live video. Negative 1.2 plus 2 overall gives you an answer of 0.8, and this is your first page. Is exactly what the first page of your quiz tomorrow will look like. All right, folks, 7 through 12 here. We are going to simplify. Gonna take a quick sip of that coffee. Again, brought to you by Quality Coffee, a nice St. Louis brew. Also, make sure you visit our good friends at Coffee Espresso. That's right, Coffee Espresso. Free publicity for you. How about a nice gift card coming to Litchfield High School? Attention, Mr. Yak. Number 7 here, simplify. We've got to take certain pauses. You know, like we pause for station identification kind of thing. And I also need that coffee. All right, let's distribute. 18x minus 30y plus 7x. Time for another sponsor here. We're just so lucky here at 90.9, the Pythagoras, to have so many sponsors. Add those x's together. Got too many x's. It's time for Match.com. Match.com. Take care of that mini x problem. Special 1999 or special free weekend, Labor Day weekend. Negative 30 minus 14 should give you a minus 44y. Alright, so that has been simplified. That would be a pretty easy one. I think we can all handle well. 8 is really not much different. You might have some, you actually got some negatives to work with here. So negative 5y, then you're going to have plus 10x. A negative times, come on. Wow. A negative times a negative is a positive. Plus 6x. Minus 12y. Combine like terms. Put the x's first. 16x minus 17y would be your final answer here. This is from section 1.2. 1.2 right here. 9 and 10. 10's has some fractions. It might be a little bit more challenging, but 9, no fractions exist. We just add another variable, z. We got 8x minus 12y plus 20z minus 18z plus 12x. Negative times a negative is a positive. Minus 30y. Combine those like terms. Put those x's together. Again, Match.com. 20 x's. That sounds like a problem. Minus 42y. Then plus 2z. Plus 2z. Alright, does that look good? We'll pause here in a sec, but we got to get this one. 3/4 of 2. 3/4 of 2. Let's go red here, the power color. 3/4 of 2. If you wanted to put 1.5, that's fine. It's really 6/4. It's 3/2 x. We want to be good with fractions. Minus 3 times 3 would be 9/4 y. Minus 5/3 y. Negative times a negative is plus 2/3 x. Now, yes, you can add 1.5. 3/2. have 1.2. So if you said 1.2 plus 0.75, yes, that's 1.95x, which is actually 39 over 20. You had negative 2.4 minus 1 1/4. That should be minus 3.65y, which is minus 73 over 20. Either this or this. Again, that's a 9.5 will be accepted. Ever want to be alone, just have that alone time? This problem is for you. We are going to try to solve for y. Y needs a little alone, a little TLC. Get it all by itself. It's cluttered. So when we want to solve for, we want to get y all by itself. Currently y is right there. I got to take care of that 2 in the denominator. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Now you have 2x is equal to 5 times y minus 3. Get those 3 kids out of the house. Add it to the other side. That did not change the color like it should have. Now you have 2x plus 3 that is 3 equals 5y. Finally, I do want y all by itself. Divide both sides by 5. I'm going to put y out front. Equals 2x plus 3 over 5. You have one very similar to 14 tomorrow. It might change. 14 is maybe a little bit more challenging for the first 2 weeks of school here. Definitely one I would expect us to get pretty soon. But I want x. Oh no, I have an x here and a here. Well, this is definitely not an x, so move it over. I now have y minus 6 equals x times w minus x times z cubed. Again, this has a possibility of being changed tomorrow, but here's what I know, guys. I can do a little factoring. I have an x here and an x here, so why don't we put that x on the outside? It is leaving. If I divide both of these by x, I'm left with the w. No, minus z cubed. That x has been factored out. That x has been factored out. Equals y minus 6. Now, this is technically a number. That will be a number, and if I'm multiplying a number by x and I want x all by itself, I will divide both sides by that number. So x all by itself now is equal to y minus 6. Come on, over w minus z cubed. Again, one will be less aggressive tomorrow, maybe changed slightly. equals 19. 3x, put these together, minus 29 is 19. We will get a nice answer here. Add 29 to both sides. You got 3x is 48. X is 16. X is 16. And the final non-bonus one here. Whoa, fractions galore. 3/5 and oh my gosh, 3/5 of 1/2. You're going to have, start it up here, you're going to have x over 4 minus 11 is equal to 3 times 8 over 5. I'm just going to leave it as a fraction right now. It's going to be 24 over 5. Plus, we're going to do 3 times 1, 3, over denominator times denominator. That is how we multiply by fractions, or multiply fractions. Actually, folks, if you take x and divide it by 4, so if you wanted to, that's fine. You could have a fraction here. I think this one will work out relative, or a decimal. I'm sorry. If you want to have a decimal, you could have it here. This one will work out pretty well. Nothing's repeating. This x is actually bigger, so I'm going to move this over. I'm going to move that over. Negative 15.8, if I subtract 4.8 from negative 11, is equal to 0.05x. If you divide both sides by a nickel, you're really multiplying by 20. So I think it is this. But somebody should let me know. Yes, no. I'm getting a few yeses, folks. Think we shall run.